listen to it.
I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to. She got it's on the phone.
Oh look, so boom. So
she like you just basically messed up. She was
I-
ready.
The whole intro, so let's start all the way back over and have to edit all of that out of there.
Intro with the music and then we can start a discussion.
I promise you, the camera did not hear a word I said.
Okay, cool. Because the music was so loud.
Yes.
Alright, cool.
I think what I was saying was I think that in general, I think we're always looking for some type of savior, whether that be, you know, a politician, sometimes it's your favorite rapper. I mean, you're just always looking for somebody to come in and save us from what we're going through instead of us just kind of working to fix it on our own.
I agree and disagree. I feel like that's a flaw. Looking for a savior is a flaw. I feel like what we need to do is look for a representative instead. You feel me? Somebody that's gonna represent us. Like, I feel like that's why as a black community we don't really go nowhere, because we're not represented in the system that we're living in. Like, we don't even understand politics really, like what really is going on behind these scenes. Like, that's why we don't understand the voting situation. Like, we get so excited about the presidential election, but we don't vote for our congressmen and our House of Representatives and all that stuff. Like, and that's where our vote really matters, and that's where our government is being ran, and we're not represented there.
But I guess my whole thing is, don't you think that we could get to a point where we're actually breeding these types of people in our own community? Like, if you change the outlook of the kids that are coming up in the community and make them realize, oh, you can be that lawyer that can go into politics, that can represent us, then we can get to that place. But if we are always looking for somebody else to set the example or for somebody else to give us a handout, I think that it really leaves a lot of area for us to improve.
I mean, but what we also got to understand too, everybody is out for self. You understand? So, but the way
that's a flaw too.
No, but it's funny because the way our community is set up, we're out for self against each other. But in other communities, they're out for self for them. You feel me?
Okay,
Like,
so now we're talking. Alright, so that brings us to a whole different perspective that you're about to bring in, which is how come we're not banding together? How come it is every individual for themselves instead of as a community realizing that instead of me and my family doing one thing, and sometimes families separate too, but me and my family doing one thing, you and your family doing one thing, you and your family doing one thing, why don't we all kind of combine together and let's pick different spots that we all are good at, but share in the growth together?
And I don't know, it's just a mindset that we have as a community, I guess it really gets deep. It's like, how I look at it, I feel like it's because we as a community don't know ourselves and our history. You feel me? We're not rooted together in something. You feel me? Like every other community has that. Like Mexicans stick together because, hey, we Mexican, we from Mexico, La Raza, Viva La Raza. You feel me? This is where we from. Feel me? White people stick together, white power, Aryan nation, this is our descent, this is where we come from. You're my brother because I could trace my bloodline. This is where we come from. You feel me? We as a people, we don't know ourselves. You feel me? We just go with the flow. That goes for everything. Like with fashion, we always going towards other people's shit because we don't know ourselves. We don't glorify our own shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mindset that's come from way in the past, and it just has to do with not having our own thing and not knowing where we come from. You feel me?
I wonder whose fault that is.
I mean, it comes from slavery.
Exactly. So we didn't have a choice. Like they definitely set us up for failure from the start. Like we don't even know half the stuff that was going on in Africa, all the kingdoms and powerful people that probably we could have still been running Africa. And now it's like it's just a struggle in America.
I think it's a very hard read, but if anyone has not actually read it, I think that people should read the Willie Lynch letter, because I think that it is definitely still.
I remember you talking to me about this one time before too, and it's something that I want to look into because that's my thoughts as well. Exactly. I'm like, we come from an area where our history says that we are strong, we're powerful, we have power in numbers, that our growth is amazing when we band together, that we're super smart, we're the complete package. But the problem with this complete package comes into, okay, now we're lost. We have where different cultures who are here that we descend from don't even value us the same way. So it's not just when we think about our counterparts and white people, but Nigerians and other people as well, they don't even look at us the same way. So we're like Black Americans. You know what I mean? Like we're not no longer what it is anymore.
We as a people, I feel like we're so powerful, we've always been used as a tool. You feel me? Like think about it. Like, so back then it was slavery. Like, let's use these people literally as a tool to you know what I'm saying? You plow our land and all that stuff, like literally as a tool. And now we're being used as a tool because like even people are appropriating the culture. Like, let's use these people to promote our brands but not pay them. Like they're gonna scream our stuff, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, but we're not gonna pay y'all, but y'all gonna push the culture, y'all gonna promote us, but using y'all as a tool. Like, it's crazy how we're so powerful that we're always being used because we've always been blindfolded. You know what I mean? If we really stuck together, I feel like that's why it's always a few people who always want to do it, but nothing's gonna go. Like no one person can do it by themselves. It has to be a collective. You feel me? And I don't know, for some reason there's always a
because everybody is always out for self, and it's something that is continuously passed on, I think, in our culture, like time and time again. Like you get on and then you leave your community and then that's that.
You go back to, now I'm gonna bring in an analogy that I thought was cool. So you know how everybody always says that the manager is always the person who doesn't do the job well but can tell you how to do it? and then the employees are the people who do the job well, you will never get promoted to manager though. So that's what black people are. We are the co-workers. We are the life of every industry, every business, everything. We're the ones that keep it going. We're the people who, if we were a call center, we are who you directly speak to. We're the ones that's trying to stop you from speaking to the supervisor. And then here you got the supervisor up here who do less of the work that you do. You got to explain to them what they, see, this is what you're really supposed to be doing right now, so that they can tell the customer on the phone they're the most valued face that's out there, but yet we do all the work. So I think we are so used to being the workers that we don't forgot what it's like to be the leader. And then when you throw us in a leadership position, because we only value that face of leadership to be one of a certain look, now it's just like, oh, I must look like this now, so you don't look like this. I just look like this. I'm special. So instead of me turning around and pulling you with me and saying, shoot, we could go start our own company and do the same thing that we're doing right now, it's just like, oh, not only did I just get this promotion, but now I'm about to berate you harder than I would berate any other person who's not of our skin color, because I'm better than you now, because this position shows that I'm better than you. So that's what I'm in for self. It's not necessarily saying I only care about self as much as it's like, this is my way to shine. Like if I carry you with me, now I'm no longer an individual anymore. I'm back to being at that same level that I was at before, where we were all just the workers.
But instead that people are more willing to be, I guess, the workers for other people, but when it comes to us, it's different.
One thing about it too though is you gotta understand where you at too. So like that goes back to, I mean, like where we're at as a country, right? So for every other culture, well, let's not even say every other. If we're making it a white and black thing, right? If we're making it a white and black thing, we unfiltered, right?
Right.
So we have to somehow get ourselves into this government. You feel me? To where, like I said before, have our people represented. Because if we're not, we can't continue to live here and expect change, because nobody, where we're at, nobody's there to represent us and say this is what is right for these people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know, because then you go back to saying, I'm going to take it all the way back to your beginning. You said their country. So now we got to be specific. We came in subculture. Sub-level. They came in as a dominating entity. Their objective, their whole motive to come to America was to claim it. Even though it was already claimed by people. There were already people who lived here ahead of time. So they came in with an agenda. We came in just following the agenda. So that's another thing that helps build up to what you're saying. It's like we're coming into a situation where, like, when your homie, you're going to do something with them and they don't give you all the details. They're just like, bro, come ride with me. I ain't going to tell you nothing about what we about to do. You're just going to experience it from that moment on. So that's what we did. We came in, we had this friend that said, come ride with me.
It's a little deeper than that. It's like your homie dang pointed the gun at you like, nigga, get in the car, you gotta ride, nigga.
Right, so it's not an option. You're right, that's the point. It's not an option. It's like, yeah, it's like either you come with me or you dead. You got two options. You hopping in the car or you dead. And so we chose to ride, and ever since then we've been lost.
Thanks.
So, I don't know. I need Sam to come in and jump in on this a little bit more, because you were quiet. I mean, maybe it's something. Okay, so you did state ahead of time that this was a topic that was a lot for a first episode. So I guess this is a nice teaser just to get people to kind of understand that when you're dealing with Unfiltered, we're going to talk about things that are going to be testy. We're going to talk about things that are going to be like, here we go again. We're going to talk about things that's like, man, I can sit here, we can talk about this all day, and I can beat myself up about it. But we got to give the people the real. That's one thing that we want to be able to walk away from here knowing. It's like, we kept it real. Now we can switch this topic up real quick, but
I mean, I just don't like talking about it, because it's a lot of it could be our fault being black people, but I always look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is, if it wasn't for the white person, we wouldn't be in the situation that we are in now. Like, even to this day, it's like the biggest achievement that we ever had was being able to go to white people's schools. Like, they really fought for that. Like, it was just the best thing ever. And now I was like, okay, but now living in DeKalb County in Georgia, like, there's black schools and white schools. And yes, and it's still, yes, you can go to whichever school you want to, but it's clear that the good schools are getting the money and the black schools are not. And
that's real.
It's just and that's like, for them to say that was just like the biggest achievement. Like, okay, what else can we do? Like, we still get treated as the less superior figure when everything that we've been taught and know says that we are superior, and we just let them take control, and it sucks. Like, we had Barack Obama for 8 years, and I don't think us as black people took advantage of it as we should have. Like, we were just excited to have a black president, but we could have been excited about helping pushing an agenda for us because we had somebody in the office who actually could speak for us, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah, that's the only time I voted.
Like, we literally wasted 8 years, and now we're about to sit through another 8 years of a. I'm not.
But the crazy part about it is, I think that now would really be the time to really band together. Because if you really look at it with how I think progressive the younger generation is, white people are actually becoming a minority. Like, you're having a lot of mixed race people come together. Pure white people are phasing out of America. Like, before you know it, they said that the average American is going to be like,
But see, look,
we live in Atlanta, so that we see a lot of us and less of them, but I promise you, them white folk in Wisconsin and Minnesota, they still breeding all whites.
That's where
the racist people in Boston, they still breeding all whites.
And imagine, like you say, we are the whites becoming a minority, but still in the government there's a majority. You feel me? And so how
are you representing us?
Right now in our legislature, they're trying to build a wall. You feel me? Like shit like that. Like,
they're not trying to build a wall.
No,
they're stealing money from places like the Special Olympics and autism funds to build a wall that nobody in America wants.
Right, so the majority doesn't want it. So why? But the people that represent us are pushing this agenda.
Because
imagine that. We need to.
Well, I feel like it's a distraction, that whole wall thing, because I mean, honestly, I feel like it's stupid. At the end of the day, if people really want to get here, hell, they'll bring the Underground Railroad back if they want to.
I'm just
I mean, it's a way. They can get around that damn wall if they wanted to.
Hey, y'all, please tell me y'all saw on Facebook. It was something on Facebook, and it said people from Mexico were stealing the materials that they were using to build the wall. And I hope it's true.
Hey, look, I saw one. It was a Mexican dude. They had him on camera. Dude was just laughing, OD laughing. He's like, they're building the wall. What are they gonna do about the plane?
That's true. And so, to think about the whole wall situation. So I was talking to somebody from work, and something that they said to me, black person, authentically black too. I cannot think of what culture they're from, but they're not just a black American. They came over here while they were in college. This is an older person, got to be 40s and 50s. So they done lived a little bit. They should have a little bit of wisdom underneath their belt. They said the reason for the wall is not just to keep the Mexicans out, but they said that as far as the Mexican border is concerned, they have more lax rules for letting people in with visas to come into their country. And once you get a visa, because Mexico is still a part of America, even though it's not the United States of America, we still are all tied in, so their visas can still operate with us as well too. Don't quote me on that part, but the purpose of what they're saying is that people from other countries are coming in through Mexico to come into America.
Listen. I only know about one other wall, and that didn't go too well. You feel me?
The Berlin Wall?
That's the only other know.
The Berlin Wall of China, that didn't work either.
So we have a history showing that walls can be created, but it doesn't mean that they're going to justify and do the job. And yet, you still got President Hussein.
I mean, it's an antagonistic move, like, for what? For what?
It's a waste of money.
And like I said, if them people want to band together and find a way of how they're still going to come to America, they will.
But maybe it's not even about the wall. Maybe the reason why.
I mean, it seems like it's a statement, but
that's what it really sounds like. It's like because we can do it. America is based on being bullies. We can call it what we want to call it, but America is the biggest bully. The only difference about us being a bully is we justify it by saying we pick up for the little person. Oh, at the same time, we'll bully you, but we also make sure we take care of these people. But truth is that we're only taking care of self.
They're only taking care of them people because, like we said earlier, they need more workers.
So let me ask y'all a question, right? So when Obama was president, why he couldn't just do whatever he wanted, like just OD for the black community?
I think he was saving face. I
feel like people have an argument saying that he didn't do enough for black people. That's false because he did a lot of stuff for all people, which is why he was a good president. And that's why.
But we don't care about all them.
But we should.
No, but what I'm saying is that the all still includes that figure that keeps eliminating us out of their all. Why do we have to keep making them? Why do we have to keep being inclusive when nobody else is being inclusive? We just kind of fall under their umbrella. We catching the rain, sitting on the outside.
What do you want? Like what?
I don't want him to come in and say I'm black and so let's do all black stuff. No, but what I want him to say
is like my thing is
why does that have to be considered the black thing to do? It's not having Beyonce come into the office.
So all right. So before Obama, right? We had all these presidents, and we looked at the presidential office a certain type of way, right? So when Obama came into the office, we was like, all right. Don't fuck it up. Like that was our attitude. You feel me? Like, alright, we in here, don't fuck it up. Now we see like you can do what you want. You feel me?
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
And we could have benefited if
Trump has supporters that have money that can help him to do these things. If you look at the details of being a simple organization in general, across the board, the president is always really like a talking head. Like they give you so much power to do so many things, but it's really the voting body that controls what really does happen.
What you're saying is facts, but like Tab said though, like he made it there to make it to the office. He had that. He had supporters. He had that. It takes a check to get there. First of all, he had that. But like Tab said, he was saving face. He was saving. It don't matter. He had a check. He saved face.
Somebody said he was drugging Rihanna or Karuchi and robbing them.
I mean, and I'm gonna say it's like we said at the beginning of the conversation. It's a double standard, and honestly and truthfully, in this, I think cultural climate, it's just like this whole scamming thing is like, oh sis, secure the bag. Oh, she did what she had to do. She had to get her money.
I'm
like,
all for it too,
but that's what I'm saying. You have a lot of people justifying it for that versus, okay, we're looking at Bill Cosby. He was an upstanding man. You had the Cosby Show.
Well,
he was an old man.
Like,
he was a pervert. Like, you have all of these people that are putting that out there versus women that you have a lot of women, they would do the same thing. So it's like, in this, you know, day and time, it's just like, oh, well, Cardi is somebody that we like, oh, we're gonna side with her because, okay, this is something that we know there are women that do this every day.
Right. So look, so my thing is, it's not about double standard. I feel like it's like, it's not about double standard. It's like my nigga Meek Mill said, there's levels to the shit. You feel me? Like, what Cardi's talking about is like, it happens on a regular. We know this happens on a regular, so nobody's gonna be like, oh, you're wrong for that. We all know this happens on a drugging women and raping them doesn't happen on a regular, and people who do that are sick. And that's why we're gonna
side with the woman.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take that to the full extent of the law and everything. We're gonna do whatever we can to get that out of here. But what Cardi's talking about, we know this happens. We don't care. Like, whatever. Like, do you? We see this all the time. Like, now cause she's a big star, people are going back to dig it up and be like, oh, look at what she did.
Well, I think somebody had also put out there that I guess a lot of people's views on it is different too with her because she has not glorified it, so it's not something that she necessarily like talks about in her music. And before she came up, she was an Instagram star.
Literally, nobody told her to say this shit.
Oh no, let's keep it real at the situation. Nobody told her to say it, but that's because she was giving us a piece of her life. This is like as if you were watching a documentary and people tell you, before I got to be this big shot, I had to do some grimy stuff. And you talk about
let's make it understood.
She should have sat there and ate her food.
So see, I've seen a lot of people give that same comment and have that same point of view. Let's make it understood. Cardi is famous and everybody loves her right now because she was doing that shit.
Right.
You feel me? They went and got this video from like 2-3 years ago.
Right.
But that's what made her popular. Getting outside and being a real quote unquote being a real bitch.
The real
and just getting on there and talking shit.
The real victim in the situation.
That's what everybody loves her for. So now we trying to hate on her.
Get out while you can. Offset, get out while you can. She is gonna drug you, get the bag.
Offset was out. Offset was out and he ran back. Offset was out and he ran back. He was like, yo, I miss Cardi.
Offset
she probably tried to drug and rob him.
Offset understands her background. Why? Because he's done some crazy stuff out
here robbing people too. But guess what? But he wasn't drugging them. He was robbing.
So why does the word drug have to be a big thing? Real recognized real.
Like, yo, we was out here, shorty.
That's why I said
we both had to live the street. Like, that's the street life that they were out here living.
That's probably why he loved her.
He like, Mom, she was down. She laid in bed and she told them that story. Like, babe, when I was growing up, a couple of times I had to, exactly. And he probably understood it from the standpoint, like, yeah, man, I remember, a couple of people who didn't deserve to be robbed or whatever, I had to rob them just because I had to do what I had to do to take care of my family.
I feel like people are more understanding now because I'm telling you, this scam culture is out of control.
Well, this is what it really is. And Cardi gets a pass all the time because she's not black. And that's what it really boils down to.
Wait,
she's not mixed with black though. She's mixed with
she's like Trini endemic. So there, she got some black in her, but
she ain't African American or Latino.
She's still part of the brown family culture.
But that's because y'all put her in there. We gotta keep it real. Just the same way. We shouldn't claim her because she's not that, and she gets a pass. She gets a pass because she's really not black.
That's kind of valid.
If that happened,
she is kind of more Hispanic. She got old Hispanic kids.
If Trina, I don't know. I feel like it might not be the same energy if it was a genuine black girl who came out and said.
I don't think
Beyonce came out and
no,
let's say okay.
She has a nice.
Let's say Trina. What about Trina? What did you?
I wouldn't even say Trina. I would say let's take a prime example. Everybody love the city girls. Let's say Young Miami. They call her
here drugging and robbing.
They would have drugged her. They would have drugged her.
What y'all talking about? JT's in jail right now. Free JT.
I know.
So free JT. What y'all talking about? We love them. We love them. Free JT.
No, they would have used that same story and said we was out here drugging.
No, I'm saying it don't gotta be the same story, but they doing dirt. JT's locked up.
But she's doing her time. When they said is nobody like Cardi B. Ain't nobody judging Cardi B. Ain't nobody that took her. Ain't nobody trying to press charges against her.
We're bringing up dirt though.
The Claremont twins, dark-skinned black women.
Bottom line, we're bringing up dirt. We're bringing up dirt. We're bringing up Cardi B dirt. It's Cardi B dirt.
The argument is why she's not being prosecuted the same way everybody else has been prosecuted for what they've done.
Because we love it when females do dirt.
Who?
But what we're saying is there are certain people, but she's locked up. Cardi B's not locked up. She's not going to be locked up.
Cardi B ain't get caught.
But what they're saying
if Cardi B was locked up and she had a hit single, we still be like, yo, free Cardi B.
The same way we doing girls, you right?
Okay, but on the scale of free JT, it's probably like 5 people saying that as opposed to if Cardi was
they're bugging. I say free JT really every time I say period.
I'm not bugging, bro. A lot of people just really started getting on the city girl bandwagon anyway. So outside of people like us that actually know the city girls, like if you're just a casual fan of them, you might not even know there is a JT locked up. Like you might think it's literally just Young
We talk about niggas like us, nigga. What do you mean?
The worst.
Well, if we take it back to Bill Cosby and say, well, how come he got prosecuted for what he did? It is the situation where living and having to go through the struggle and creating the struggle.
All right, so y'all gonna hate me for this.
Oh God.
I do not like none of that. I don't like the Bill Cosby situation. I don't like the R. Kelly situation. I don't like none of it.
So you think R. Kelly shouldn't be in trouble right now?
No.
You said no, you agree with what I said,
he shouldn't be in trouble right now. I feel like R. Kelly should have been in trouble when this stuff happened.
No.
I feel like this coming up.
It's still going on.
He's not
being prosecuted for nothing that's going on right now. He's being prosecuted for stuff that went on way back when.
It's mostly
Bill Cosby.
They're about to pull out.
Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby wasn't prosecuted for nothing that happened today. Bill Cosby was prosecuted for something that happened years ago.
So you're saying that a woman can't choose not to speak up now?
It's funny because I'm looking at the motive behind it. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm looking at you like, why now? You know what I'm saying?
Why now?
I'm not saying you can't, but can you answer the question? Why now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But my question to you to answer back to that is,
like you can, but what's the motive?
I could have been traumatized. The same way people can be traumatized by those kind of situations to the point where they do get quiet and they choose not to say nothing at all, and it can eat away at people, cause mental health issues and everything to the point where they just like, I gotta say it.
To me, it's funny. Because it's like, all right, you was traumatized, but now you're not traumatized to a point where you could do a TV special to make some bread.
That's different. A TV special, I understand that probably makes the whole situation, but that's because that's somebody else coming in and let's take how you were a victim for so long and let's make you the survivor. Let's make you the one who's no longer the victim in this situation.
Give you the power in this.
Let's give you the power back. So somebody else came in and said, let's create this show. You didn't come with your notebook and your pad. You was just like, listen, I got this show for y'all today. Let's go. You didn't do that. Somebody saw opportunity to help you capitalize off of that moment. We see that happen all the time. Let's take your story to the streets. Let's figure out how we can put your story on the news so we can get you what you deserve. Doesn't say that it's right, but it didn't say that was her that did that. That doesn't make her the victim of that situation.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm just gonna have to say the justice system it doesn't move swift all the time. Sometimes it takes them a minute to actually get the case or get the information. Just like in murders, it's it might have, like, somebody could get arrested today for a murder that happened 3 years ago just because they finally got the evidence and pieced it together.
The videos finally tied in together, so it was no longer circumstantial.
I think the only thing that I disagree with this whole situation, because I definitely feel like, of course, you know, with Bill Cosby and R. Kelly and all these different situations, that, you know, they should serve their time for the crimes that they did, regardless of when they did them. Point blank period. What I don't necessarily agree with is the trend that I'm personally seeing, where it's like the face of the prosecuted for the Me Too movement has become black men. Like, can we get a Harvey Weinstein in jail?
Right.
Like, okay, is it
they out there?
like, come on now, can we have multiple faces that you're posting out there to show that these men are predators? That's what I don't like. Why does the black man have to have one, you know,
because we aren't
one more target on himself, looking as a predator of young girls or somebody that's gonna drug you? I feel like that's one more stigma that's out there, to where people feel like, oh, I don't feel safe around the black man because I don't know if he gonna drug me, and you know, I don't know if he gonna
anyway.
So, I don't know if he gonna hold the cat down. I mean, I just feel like a lot of times the media in general is a loaded gun, and they don't necessarily realize the picture that they're putting out there. And again, I don't like the fact that they're painting. Well, they realize it. The people that use the tool, of course, they realize it, but I just feel like, of course, to the public that it's being presented to,
they dropped the charges because they could have convicted him, but it's such a light case. All he would have got was community service. The amount of money that they would have spent to go through the trial wasn't
worth the
equal to taking.
But let me tell you why that's not the truth. Because you don't charge somebody with 16 felony counts, and the only thing they're gonna get is some damn community service.
I'm saying, what was the charge? The charge was,
they charged him with 16 counts of stuff, like federal all felonies.
Everything.
Yeah, but you gotta look at the charge. Like he was charged with what? Like,
but it's a felony. It's a felony. You don't get community service just for a felony. You going to jail.
But if he's not all the time.
Yeah, because his money, they were trying to throw the book at this guy.
I think the truth is they did. That was what they're literally saying is what Avery just said.
I think what was gonna happen is
it wasn't gonna
charge him. I mean, he got his lawyers too. There is gonna be a case where the lawyers met up, and it was like, this is what we're gonna argue, and you know that, okay, we even if we plead guilty, we're gonna plead guilty to this, and it's gonna get dropped down to this, and it's gonna be this, and so is this what you want to do? And it was like, nah, you got it.
16 felony counts. That's all I'm saying.
They was overzealous. They was overzealous and charged him at the beginning.
That's what I'm saying. That don't mean
they was overzealous with the charges at first, yes. But at the end result, there was probably gonna be dropped down a misdemeanor, lying to police or something like that.
The only thing that was gonna be the true felony case was gonna be their allegations of him sending that letter to himself, and that's just because of the federal background that they had with the U.S. Postal Service. Other than that, everything else absolutely could have been brought in. Just because you're charged with that don't mean at court that's what's gonna stick.
Right.
So it can absolutely be dropped down. So what you're trying to say is Jussie Smollett was telling the truth?
I didn't say that. And I don't care if he's telling the truth or not.
You don't care if he's telling the truth or not?
Because that shit is not as big as it was made.
That's what I said. I feel like
he made it the big deal.
Of course he did.
That's the thing about it.
But
nobody made it a big deal but him.
He went on to Good Morning America.
That's the thing about it.
He did all of this stuff where he created that monster,
right,
and now we're wrong for chiming in on it.
No, I didn't. I'm saying he did all that. Y'all really think he made up the whole story about everything? Like nothing is true?
Yeah, that's what we think. That's what he paid them niggas to jump him and all that.
That's what it feels like he did.
But why y'all so quick to believe? why are y'all so quick to believe what the police say in a situation about that now? When every other time that they do something,
the two dudes that beat him up,
believe me,
caught them dudes, and they snitched on him.
If they snitched on him, then he would be in jail for something. They did not have concrete evidence on anything.
What we're saying,
but no, you have witnesses, right? You found the two people that allegedly he paid to jump him, right?
Because those were the two people, but they are also being investigated as well too. So you're right.
No, all that shit is done. They closed all of that shit.
But yeah, now it's because what I'm saying is in the beginning, is all of that was a tiny factor. So yeah. We're going based off of everything that was told to us from the two Nigerians.
Exactly. All the shit that was told to y'all by Chicago PD and their PR department. He was talking too,
and
but he wasn't talking about.
No, he said what those men did after he said that they was one color, but they was another color. He said these are the things I did. They tied this around me. They did this. I fought back. I did all this kind of. He created that scenario for all of those
that's
people.
That's what I was about to say. I think that he kind of created something to where they was gonna come after him once he tried to play it like it was a racially / hate driven crime. Now had he sat up there and said, okay, somebody, you know, just came and jumped him, and even if they had, you know, said some, I guess, like gay charged items versus him saying, oh, you know, this is MAGA country and doing all of this really racially charged stuff, I think that they really wanted to paint him out to basically be a liar, because people were just like, oh, well, in Chicago, that's not something, not to say you can't find racists in every city, but they were just like, this was highly unusual.
I say I don't care if he lied or not. The fact that black people were so ready to crucify him either way, it's disgusting. Like,
yeah,
it is because
why? Because he
went
and told this stuff. That would be me coming out here and me saying all this stuff.
But even from the first day it came out.
Even from
the first. Why he gotta be lying?
Because it felt weird to me.
So why Cardi get a pass but Jussie don't get a pass?
What is Cardi's pass on? Because of her rape culture? Because that's what that is. That's rape culture. To me, I feel like Jussie came out here. This is current. We said that hers was old information. This is a current situation that just happened where he chooses to come out here. He chooses to say these things happened to him. To me, what made him a liar was not the fact that all of the charges and stuff. What felt suspicious to me was his actions that led up to everything that happened.
You talking about he just gave Tupac.
I think what was...
That's him being him, but
wow. He created the situation to boost that
I'm
image.
telling you what I thought that he was lying. My thing why I thought he was lying is because he was out in 4 days in the morning and he's out here going to Subway. I felt like, okay, the story was suspicious.
The Subway, not to Subway.
Well, I felt like
just had to clarify that.
When I first heard it, that's something I was like, who wants Subway at 2 o'clock in the morning?
She thinking he lied from the start because she thought he was going to get some damn tuna sub.
But that's what I'm saying, like that's where my judgment came in. So I feel like so like everybody kind of had like their own perspective. It's just the way the story kept coming out. You kind of gave us too much room to be able to give our opinion exactly and throw in.
He stopped talking about
somebody told me you better.
And Chicago PD kept talking about it.
They talked and they talked and they
because
talked.
And what were they trying to do? Slander his character.
That's true.
But I mean,
and everybody, oh, he a lie, he a lie. Oh, y'all want to listen to the police now? Okay, well, maybe why should we listen to the police then?
I don't know, maybe they felt like it was an agenda to slander their city. I don't know.
Well, I think really what it was.
And there was a black man up there trying to slander
And it's Chicago, let's just be real. It's not like Chicago is a place where everybody's an upstanding citizen. We talk about Chicago having some of the highest crime rate ever. So I think for them, it's exactly on top of all of that stuff. It could have just been another situation where they found another black man to throw up under the bus to bring more heat to the fact that here we are, this is why our legal system is the way it is, because we have to keep a strong arm on black people. it's a tough situation.
I can't believe it. R. Kelly and Jussie was in the same jail and during the same week.
R. Kelly was not with general population. He was not hanging out with them folks.
You thought Jussie was? You hear how
Jussie probably had the best of the best.
You hear how you talking about how he a liar and everything? They was gonna try to get him.
They probably was. They probably was like, oh, you can fight. And the first thing I bet you the strongest man in that said is, oh, he think he Tupac, huh?
Ugh, the worst.
His choice, that was the funniest thing. When I heard that clip, I was like, why did he have to be the gangster? He could have been just strong. He could have just been a strong gay man. Like, why did it have to resort to Tupac? Like, what made Tupac so strong? Like, I'm confused. Like, at what point did Tupac really fight people in that sense where you felt like he was the best reference?
He was basically like a rebel.
It was a reference about how, like,
he didn't
that nigga didn't go through. He wasn't sticking to the oppression shit. Like, he was all.
You can't do no Tupac in this situation, bro.
Who Tupac?
He can't.
I'm the black Tupac. Remember?
And in that case, then we all Tupac. As long as you fighting the system, we all Tupac.
Hey, Tupac, Rodney King.
No, I don't want to be Rodney King, not the Rodney King that passed away. Alright, so we have had discussion on a little bit of everything today. I don't want us to keep the conversation going because we got to leave them something. We got to leave them with a little bit. So, what can we close off this episode? What is the message that we can, just something quick that you want to leave just to pass on to the next episode to the person who's going to listen to us from the beginning to the end?
My message is the same message that I had coming in. I think that if we want to see change, then we have to be the change. Okay.
I'm a
City girl.
free JT.
Leave her where she is.
Listen, I'm a piggyback off of that. I'm gonna say, in order to be the change, we need to find a way to have ourselves represented in the government where we're living at.
We're able to establish the change, but we can actually implement the change. Okay.
My message is, just because the other strippers do it, don't make it okay.
Even the tea at the end, because we ain't got no money for that. We ain't got no money for that party.
Yeah.
My message is, sometimes you gotta live that street life. I'm just saying, like, you gotta let them know what it is. Like, my struggle was hard, but I'm much better, sorry to be correct. I'm much better now than I was before. And I'm showing to you, I'm being vulnerable, and I'm exposing myself. So be okay with exposing yourself and what you used to be, especially if you're taking the steps to become a better person. Alright, and we are filtered.